greets the duo and the dust of detention settles, a question floats. Was it protection of peace or suppression of dissent? All right, many thanks for joining us here on EBN Weekend Edition. My name is Macharia. It is exactly 9 p.m. East African time. Do stay with me for the next couple of minutes, even as you unpack what we've got in store for you this particular evening as far as news is concerned. Might we kickstart this particular program in Uganda, and Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has confirmed that Ugandan authorities detained activist Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, who were released on Friday evening after spending 38 days in custody. Speaking during a radio talk show on national issues aired by the Ugandan Broadcasting Corporation, that is UBC, on Saturday evening, President Museveni addressed the matter for the first time, explaining that the two were arrested following an intelligence report linking them to alleged plans to incite unrest. According to Museveni, security agencies had received credible information that the activists were riot experts working closely with opposition leader, that is Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobby Wine. The president defended the government's actions, saying the arrests were made in the interest of national security. However, he noted that the duo had been released after investigations and security reviews were concluded.
Our own groups here, we monitor them with intelligence. Here, of course, we have very good intelligence, and we know them. Like, for instance, we have got two Kenyans whom we arrested. They have been with us. I have their names, but I don't remember their names. They came. They were working with Chagulanyi's group. That they are experts in riots.
Don't have any information to the effect that they are in police custody. Nor do I have any information that they are accused by police. If I had it, I would volunteer it here without any reservations.
All right, now from Uganda to our other neighbors, that is Tanzania. Tanzania President Samia Suluhu has called for dialogue with the opposition following a disputed election that was marred by unrest and violence. The appeal for talks comes just one day after the Secretary General of the opposition Chadema party, that is Amani Golugwa, was arrested during a nationwide search for individuals suspected of involvement in post-election disturbances. Take a look.
Lakini ni dhamira ya Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan kuhakikisha kwamba tunaanzisha mazungumzo ya maridhiano ili kuhakikisha hata hao wachache wanapata nafasi ya kusikilizwa ili kuwa na taifa lenye amani na umoja na kuendelea kuwa mfano wa utulivu katika Afrika na dunia. Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan amenituma niwahakikishieni kwamba nchi yetu ni salama na tulivu na iko tayari kupokea wageni wa aina mbalimbali kutoka duniani kote kwa mafanikio ya nchi zetu zote. Lakini pia nawashukuru viongozi waliotangulia kuzungumza kabla yangu ambao wametoa pongezi za dhati kwa Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan. Nataka niwahakikishie kwamba hakuna jitihada ambayo Rais Samia ataiacha katika kuhakikisha Tanzania inapata maendeleo, lakini pia amani ya nchi yetu inaendelezwa.
All right, now back in the country, opposition leaders have accused President William Ruto for mismanaging critical sectors of the country during his 3-year tenure, claiming that education, health and businesses have deteriorated while citizens struggle with the rising living cost. Speaking at separate events held in Kayole, Limuru and Makueni, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Labour Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka expressed deep concerns over the state of the nation under the current administration. The leaders warned that the government's policies have destabilized the essential services, negatively affecting the daily lives of ordinary Kenyans.
Watoto umesema wapigwe risasi kwa mguu. Biashara zote zimeharibika. Wewe Githinji unaambia wa Kenya ati wakupatie nafasi ati you can make Kenya a first world country. How?
You know, we have an opulent, wasteful government, big offices, big titles, big people, you know. I don't know how many tons of advisors will be earning salaries, big jobs and so on. We behave as if we are a developed country. Frankly, this is not rocket science, honestly.
African leaders must stop treating protesters as criminals. In the case of Kenya, in the case of my own country, a senior council went out there, PLO, next to commit maximum prison to enter and defend young Kenyans. were charged under Prevention of Terrorism.
Right, at the same time, during a church service at PCA Kayole Church Parish in Embakasi Central, Nairobi County, DCP party leader Gachagua delivered a sharp critique of President William Ruto's administration, accusing it of causing widespread damage to Kenya in just 3 years. The former deputy president expressed deep concerns over the government's direction, describing its policies as deliberate and destructive. One of the key issues he highlighted was the government's decision to halt capitation funding for primary and secondary schools starting next year. Gachagua condemned the move, warning that it undermines the education sector and threatens the future of Kenyan children.
Nchi yetu haitembei vizuri. Minister wa National Treasury ametangaza ya kwamba kuanzia Januari ile masomo tuliwachiwa ya bure na Mwai Kibaki haiwezekani tena. Sasa Januari watu ya secondary mjitayarishe kulipa. Mambo ya primary imeharibika. Mambo ya SHA haifanyi kazi. Biashara zimesimama. Na mimi nasikia Ruto akisema ati yako na mpango ati ya kufanya Kenya to be a first world country. Ni muongo si muongo? Now William Ruto aka Githinji kama wewe unasema sisi tuko na akili ndogo, unatudharau sana. Kama within 3 years kazi yote Kibaki alifanya ya masomo umeharibu. Kazi ya matibabu Uhuru Kenyatta amefanya umeharibu. Biashara zote umeharibu. Watoto umesema wapigwe risasi kwa mguu. Biashara zote zimeharibika. Wewe Githinji unaambia wa Kenya ati wakupatie nafasi ati you can make Kenya a first world country. How? How? Within 3 years, you have destroyed a great country. Nchi ulipata nchi nzuri. Mwai Kibaki, Uhuru Kenyatta walifanya kazi. Umepata umeharibu kila kitu. Tumeungana na Kalonzo Musyoka. Tumeungana na Eugene Wamalwa. George Natembea. Martha Karua. Na mimi Mandrigiji, si ndio? Na tumesema tutatoa kiongozi mmoja wa kupeleka Kasongo nyumbani. Si ndio? Wakiamua ni Kalonzo Musyoka mtampigia kura. Wakiamua ni Tabea mtampigia kura. Wakiamua ni Martha Karua mtampigia ni kura. Na wakiamua ni Rigiji. Wakiamua ni Rigiji. Kwanza wakisema ni mimi, nitakibisa hii mtu kama baisikeli ya kuimbiwa. Nitamutorosha kabisa, si ndio? Arambe! Arambe!
At the same time, during a church service at ACK All Saints Pro Cathedral Church in Maralal, Samburu County, President William Ruto reiterated his ambition to transform Kenya from a third world to a first world country, affirming that the goal is achievable. Addressing congregants, President William Ruto criticized what he termed as negative leaders, accusing them of hindering Kenya's progress and pushing the country backward. He emphasized the importance of positive leadership and unity in driving the nations towards economic growth, development and global competitiveness, urging Kenyans to support initiatives aimed at elevating the country's status.
Tusikubali urafiki na umaskini. Amesema tukatae umaskini. Ametuambia kuna watu walichoka na umaskini wakakataa. Na sisi pia kama wa Kenya tukatae umaskini, tukatae ukosefu wa kazi. We must refuse to continue to be a third world country, and that is why we must do whatever it takes so that we can raise the ambition of our nation and move Kenya to a first world country, and it is doable. Mimi niko na imani. Askofu ametuambia tumuamini Mungu, tujiamini na tuamini taifa letu la Kenya. That is how we are going to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. We believe in God, we believe in ourselves, and we believe in our nation. That is how we are going to move Kenya to the next level. Na ndio nawaambia watu wa Samburu, wa Marekani ndio walijenga Marekani. Watu wa Ulaya walijenga nchi yao. Sisi kama wa Kenya ndio tutajenga taifa letu la Kenya. Diocese hii ya Samburu ndio mtajenga Samburu County. The people of Samburu, you must be proud of yourselves. You must believe in God and believe in yourselves and in your ability to build this county. Mukidunisha county yenu, mukidharau county yenu, mukinenea mambo maovu kuhusu county yenu itabaki nyuma. You must speak positively about Samburu County. You must work for Samburu County. You must pray for Samburu County so that Samburu County inuke. And that is what we must do for this nation. I see many people who don't believe in our country. I see many people who are negative about Kenya. I see many people who confess negative things about our country. And I want to tell you, the citizens of Samburu, as I tell the citizens of Kenya, we have a country like no other. We have a great country. We have a blessed nation. We must work for it, believe in it, believe in God, believe in ourselves, and believe in our country.
Now, the Kenya National Union of Teachers, that is not officials in Bungoma County, have criticized the government for failing to release education funds on time, saying the delay has negatively affected learning activities in primary schools. Now, speaking in Bungoma, South NAT Branch Secretary, that is Ken Luketelo, expressed concerns over the prolonged delay, noting that teachers had endured a difficult third term while trying to keep the academic programs running. Now, he vowed not to allow teachers to face similar challenges in the upcoming term. On his part, Moses Masika, the NAT Secretary for Bungoma West Branch, opposed any plans to replace the current AON Minet medical insurance scheme with the proposed SHA scheme. He emphasized that teachers were satisfied with their current cover.
And we are not happy as a union. We are seeing our heads getting stress out of this exercise. The Ministry of Education must come clear and tell us if they are not ready to fund our schools, let the parents fund the schools. Next year we are not going to entertain this. I'm sure this one has been tricks to avoid funding of schools. And we are already aware that so far many schools are having a lot of debts, are having court cases with suppliers, and as for the secondary schools which are having KCSE, many of them have even failed to get lab materials for practical subjects. We are appealing to the government to honor their pledge of funding schools before the end of this year.
The mantle of the county chair, Bungoma County. What I want to assure our teachers and the members of Bungoma South Branch is that I'm your servant. I've grown up in the system of leadership, and leadership is ordained by God. I'm so much delighted today that I'll be at the helm of Bungoma County to serve our teachers diligently the way we have been doing. I want to assure our teachers Bungoma County that at no time you'll see a vacuum in our leadership. We are there to serve you at all time.
Tunasikitika sana wakati ambapo serikali kupitia kwa tume ya kuajiri walimu inataka kubadilisha huo mpango na kutoa walimu katika AON Minet na kuwaingiza katika halmashauri ya afya ya jamii, ila ambayo tunaita SHA. Sisi kama walimu hatupendi. Tumeona SHA ikikumbwa na matatizo mengi, na sisi tumeona Minet ikikabiliana na mambo ya walimu kwa urahisi sana. Tungetaka kuomba serikali ifikirie msimamo huo, kwa sababu walimu wote wa Kenya wako radhi kuendelea kuwa chini ya Minet badala ya kuingia kwa huyu mkataba wa SHA.
Right, it is exactly 18 minutes past the top of the hour. Due for a short breather here on EBN Weekend Edition, but we'll be back in just a bit. Don't go too far. To expedite investigations into the disappearance and subsequent death of Simon Isiaho, the principal of Minyuki PAG Secondary School. His body, found with severe injuries, was discovered dumped in Kipkaren River on November 8th. Kupet issued a stern warning stating that it would withdraw all principal overseeing cases examination if immediate action is not taken against those involved in the killing. Now, the union's local leaders urged the government to conduct a thorough and rapid investigations, alleging that Isiaho was tortured and murdered before his death was staged as an accident.
Na anapatikana ametupwa kwa mto, mwili unaozewa kwa mto. Hiyo ni kitu ambayo tumehuzunika sisi wote, na tunasema kama hakutakuwa na step ambayo report ambayo inatueleza ni nini haswa ilitendeka, sisi we shall be forced to disrupt exams in this region.
Teachers' lives matter. Yeah. We are sure if this was someone else, if it was a big person in the government, if it was a politician, there would be arrests that have been made already. But because it is a teacher, this process is taking a very long time. We are not accepting that.
Hivi mwalimu mkuu amepatikana, ameuawa na ametupwa kwa mtoni. We want to be told from the accident area, when the accident back to the river, what happened? Kama ni Savuna yuko involved, lazima ashikwe. Kama ni Mjumba yuko involved, lazima ashikwe.
Now, the government has announced that all victims of the Chesongoch landslide in Elgeyo Marakwet County will receive compensation and be relocated to safe areas within the next 30 days. Speaking during a visit to the affected area, Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, accompanied by First Lady Rachel Ruto, expressed condolences to the families impacted by the disaster. He assured the public that the process of compensation and restoration of livelihoods is underway to ensure that the victims are compensated.
Shughuli ichukue ati ni program ya mwaka mmoja ama mwezi 3, mwezi 4. Tunataka tuhakikishe kwamba hao wameshughulikiwa 1 month, accounts imefungwa na kila mtu amerudi kwake. Hakuna hii shughuli ya kukaa tena kusema tuko na IDPs, tuko sijui na landslide victims, tuko na nini.
Poleni sana wote ambao wameweza kuathirika. Poleni kwa hili janga ambalo ni jambo ambalo imeweza kutuumiza mioyo sana.
Right, Mary Modoni, who is the PS of Health and Professional Standards, has urged parents, especially those with adolescent children, to be vigilant about their children's behavior during the extended school holidays. And according to the statistics from her ministry, many children are at risk of being influenced by peers to engage in appropriate activities, particularly during long holidays. Modoni called on churches and community leaders to create activities that keep young people occupied, warning that the holiday period also increases the risk of early pregnancies. She further cautioned against the use of alcohol and drugs, noting that some manufacturers are now modifying products to make them more appealing to younger users.
Mambo ya cleanliness, tuko kwa ile msimu tunaita October, November, December short rains. Sasa tunafaa kuangalia sana pale manyumbani mwetu. Tunafaa kuangalia usafi wa nyumbani zetu. Kama ni kusafisha nyumba zetu, kuosha vyombo pale nyumba zetu, kukinyesha sana, ile maji tunaweza kuidrain, na pia mambo ya kulala chini ya neti ndio mosquitoes zisikuje zikatuuma tukapatwa na malaria. Ni vizuri kujua ya kwamba kupunguza ile magonjwa kama kolera, bilharzia na magonjwa mengine mengi yenye inaweza ikapuuzwa pale manyumbani mwetu ndio muhimu zaidi.
Alright, now more than 300 public service vehicles and government drivers from Kirinyaga County have participated in a road safety sensitization training ahead of the festive season, following a surge in accidents along the Embu-Nairobi highway. Now, the training organized by Kaizen Group Auto Limited in partnership with Isuzu East Africa aimed to equip drivers with safe driving techniques and promote responsible behavior on the roads. Speaking during the session, Maggie Kibet emphasized the importance of observing traffic rules, vehicle maintenance, and professional conduct to reduce road carnage. Drivers who are trained on fuel efficiency, eco-driving, emergency preparedness, and overall driver responsibility. Kibet highlighted that unloading of the vehicles and substandard spare parts contribute to significantly to deaths or rather to accidents. Now, during urging the government to regulate imported spare parts to ensure safety and protect vehicle owners from losses.
Kwa hapa Kaizen na tumeweza kufundisha dereva 300. Kwa hili kosi tumeweza kuwafundisha kuhusu namna ama jinsi mzuri ya kuendesha gari katika barabara. Pia bado tumewaeleza kuhusu kuangalia gari zao. Kuna kitu inaitwa 64 point check ambapo dereva anafaa kuangalia vitu kadhaa kwa gari ndio aweze kukua na safety kwa barabara. Pia bado tumeweza kuwafundisha kuhusu parts. Kuna kuanga na zile parts genuine na non-genuine, na pia bado hizi zinachangia katika safety ya dereva na pia bado vile ambavyo mafuta inatumika kwa gari. So pia bado mmekaribishwa kukuja huku Kaizen. Tuko na hizo mafundisho kwa kila siku. We train them in terms of genuine parts. We've realized that apart from the accidents that are happening, more so they are caused due to non-genuine parts.
Right now, more than 70 young women and mothers successfully graduated, that is yesterday, in hairdressing and beauty therapy at the Mikindani Beauty Training Institute. Speaking during the ceremony held at Mikindani Social Hall, the institute's administrator, that is Evelyn Akinyi, congratulated the graduates for achieving their dreams in the field. She emphasized that the institute has been at the forefront of empowering young women and mothers, many of whom he received support from organizations such as USAID and Shofco. Akinyi also called on donors to come forward to support the provision of equipments, expansion of facilities, and student accommodation, noting that the graduates come from various parts of Mombasa County.
Tulianza 2019 Mei, tulikuwa na majukumu ya kuempower wasichana katika mitaa. Nikaangalia nikaona wasichana wengi mtaa hawana cha kufanya, wengine wanataranga, wengine mza shule, na sisi mtakwenda shule kama kwa ukiangalia hii sasa hivi maisha saizi ile ambayo iko juu kwa market ya loot. So nikaangalia sana nikasema wasichana ni mtaani, ndio single mothers, wengine vulnerable, na kuna wakusaidia, nikawachukua nikaanza nao kwa empower. Na shule yetu huwa tunaempower wasichana mostly kama ni fee, just space for some students, tuna empower wengine free, ndio nalikuwa na miradi. Shule yetu kama miradi kama USAID na support, USAID na Shofco. Hao wametushikia mkono, wanachukua wasichana katika mitaa, wanatuletea, tunawatrain. After training ya wasichana wetu, tunahakikisha msichana ametoka hapa kwetu na ana kazi.
Mimi ni madam wa Mikindani Beauty College. Hao wanafunzi wenye wana graduate siku ya leo wamepitia kwa mkono yangu kama mwalimu yao. Nimekuwa na wao, unapata kuna mwanafunzi anakuja pale, anakuja ajui chochote, ajui hata kushika nywele, ajui anything, lakini unamtoa pale kwa zero, unamweka mahali. Mimi nimefurahi nikiwaona leo wanafunzi wamegraduate, na nimefurahi sana nikiona wamevaa hizi nguo. Sio rahisi, hii kazi iko na challenges kubwa sana. Kama mwalimu napitia challenges kubwa kwa sababu wengine ni wazazi kama mimi, wengine ni wasichana wako na challenges.
Mikindani Hairdressing is the best college to be. Umeleta watoto mali hapa, wamesoma, wamefundishwa. This is a career job, is a career study. Because wako na walimu wazuri, wanafundisha, wanaelimisha. Our kids, me I advise parents who are outside there, walete watoto wao katika hii shule. Hii shule imefanya mambo mema. Hii shule walimu wanafundisha vizuri. Hii shule walimu wana encourage watoto. Ukiwapata darasani mara kwa mara, mimi huwatembelea na nikaona vile wanaendelea na walimu wao. Walimu hapa tuko na walimu wazuri sana.
All right, it is exactly 30 minutes past the top of the hour. That particular story wraps up our program here on EBN Weekend Edition. It is my trust that you are now informed from what's happening from across 47 counties and of course across our borders as far as news is concerned. My name is Macharia. Many thanks for keeping me company until this particular minute. Do have yourself a lovely night, and of course let's do this again when God says we do.